I realized after having my first son that my identity was wrapped in my physical body. And so when that changed, it was just like my whole world basically crumbled because I was looking in the mirror at this body, at this woman, at this person. I had no idea who it was.
Do you miss having time for Jesus and yourself, but you're drowning in the responsibilities of motherhood? If so, you're in the right place. Hi, I'm Cheryl, wife, girl mom, and Jesus follower. I learned the not so secret ways to become the mom my girls needed by prioritizing Jesus back into my mom life and reclaiming my identity in Christ. If you're ready to build faith while washing dishes, rediscover your identity, and love yourself like your babies do, grab your earbuds and lock that bathroom door for a minute alone. It's time for Mom. Hi, beautiful. Welcome to the Time for Mom podcast. I'm your host, Cheryl. Today, I am super excited to have a first ever interview on the podcast with a Miss Ashley Lambert, and she is the amazing host of the brand new Fat Loss Momentum podcast. She's a health coach for women 30 plus who helps disciplined, high achieving women remove the distractions of their bodies so they can get unstuck and step fully into their God given assignments with boldness, strength, and confidence. After years of watching capable women do everything right, working out consistently, eating well, tracking diligently, yet feeling mentally consumed and stalled, Ashley recognized that the real problem wasn't effort or discipline, but distraction. Her work focuses on restoring internal order so that the body responds again, freeing women from constant self management and creating space for leadership, clarity, and purpose. Like I said, she's the host of the Fat Loss Momentum podcast and the creator of the Fat Loss Momentum Method, a results driven approach that helps women achieve sustainable fat loss without extreme dieting or exhausting routines. Her coaching is rooted in strength, alignment, and faith informed principles while welcoming women of all backgrounds. She's also a wife, a mom of two energetic toddler boys, a former Broadway performer, and a Southern California entrepreneur who believes confidence, muscle, and joy are allowed to coexist. Welcome to the podcast, Ashley, and thank you so much for agreeing to be on here.
Oh my goodness, I'm so excited and I'm so honored to be one of your first guests. So this is going to be amazing. Thank you for having me.
Well, I've got to ask, former Broadway performer. I mean, that's quite the little nugget right there.
Yeah, that was my life for a really long time, was performing in theater and commercials and print work and beauty pageants and all the things. And so yeah, that was my life until I was in about junior high, eighth grade, and I decided I just want to dance professionally and I don't want to act and do theater. And so that's a part of my journey and it was a beautiful one. And I feel like I've done so many things in my life, but it's all brought me to this moment. And the Lord was just preparing my heart for the women now that I work with.
He is so good at that.
Absolutely.
But this interview I wanted to use as a kickoff for my marriage and self image series that I want to run this month, which is February. And I wanted to dig into a little bit of your journey because you're a health coach, you're a certified trainer, if I remember correctly, and you had quite the journey postpartum. And I was wondering if you wanted to
Yes.
share.
So I had two babies in less than 2 years. And so my first, I was 33, and then the second, I was 34, almost 35. And becoming a mom just rocked me because I realized after having my first son that my identity was wrapped in my physical body. And so when that changed, it was just like my whole world basically crumbled because I was looking in the mirror at this body, at this woman, at this person. I had no idea who it was. And so that led me on a kind of a dark path of like depression and really just like feeling like I didn't know my purpose anymore. Like, yes, I'm a mom. I'm so excited. Like, I have this new baby and just what a gift. But also on the other end of the spectrum, it was like, I have no idea who I am. And then also in between that, trying to figure out how to take care of a baby, my first baby, that it was just a lot at one time. But the Lord is just so good. Like, He used that time of feeling lost and broken to bring me closer to Him so then He could reveal to me what my true identity was outside of just this physical body that He has obviously blessed us all with and just a beautiful gift and a vessel. But it was really hard my first postpartum period. And then the Lord brought me in closer. He revealed to me who I truly am. And I feel like I had to go through that because now the women that I work with aren't necessarily postpartum, but there is this sense of like identity loss. There's this sense of like, I am my body. And that's like our worthiness is kind of wrapped in that as well. And so it was a long journey. And then to find out I was pregnant again, like 12 months after having my first baby, if I'm honest, I was really upset because I was like, oh my gosh, like I just got back into shape. Like I'm working on my business. I felt like it was about to take off and like all of these things. And like the Lord was like, again, nope. Like you thought this was the timing and it's not. And I mean, I'm so glad that it worked out how it did. My boys are like the best of friends and they're 22 months apart. But the second postpartum journey, it was more of not focusing on my physical body, but more of the mental side. And so trying to figure out how to take care of two little babies that were under two, that was a lot. And then running a business, and then also my body again, feeling like I needed to get back into shape, especially being a personal trainer. Like, let's just call it what it is. Like, people look at your body as a trainer, like, okay, are you in shape? Like, I'm not going to hire someone who's not in shape. So there's just a lot of pressure for me mentally and emotionally. But again, the Lord used all of that time to help me create and cultivate now what I help women with their body and their self image and their worth and their identity. And yes, wanting to look a certain way is a beautiful thing, but also on the other end, like you are so much more than just this physical vessel. And so it was a long journey with both postpartum periods, but I wouldn't change a thing about it. The Lord has revealed so much to me in those what feel like seasons that never end for a lot of us because they're just so challenging. No sleep, no sleep. You feel like you don't know what you're doing. You feel like you're just gonna snap at your kids at any moment because you are just so tired. There's so much beauty and growth in the hard seasons that I had to go through in order to be where I am now. So I am grateful for every single moment.
God is so good at not wasting our experiences, even when we kind of wish we never experienced them.
Yes, 1000%.
One of the things I wanted to dive into here was your journey from not recognizing yourself and not liking what you did see in the mirror, of that journey of becoming healthy again, not just the physically healthy, but the mentally and the spiritually healthy, because that
Mhm.
is such a dramatic shift going from taking care of yourself and only needing to take care of yourself. I mean, the husbands, they're fine, they can fend for themselves. To needing to care for not just one, but two babies that are, like you said, 22 months apart, which is great. Mine are 3 years apart, and I'm very glad there's that space. Could you touch on that?
Yeah, so for me on the spiritual side, there was a lot of guilt. There was a lot of shame there because I wasn't able to spend my time how I did before I had kids with the Lord. Like I had a routine, right? Where I would just get up, I would spend the first of my day with the Lord, and then my time was mine, right? So when you have kids and you're exhausted and you're waking up every few hours and those sort of things, there was a lot of guilt like, Lord, I just need help, like I don't know what to do in order to spend time with you. And like I really needed that time with him. And so for me during postpartum it just looked different. So he revealed to me like when I'm breastfeeding, it's normally quiet when it's just me and the baby, and that was a time where I would just go into prayer and like talk to the Lord and just ask him to give me strength and whatever I was going through at that time, but just spending that time. And then also when I would go for walks with my babies, like I would put them in the stroller, they would normally go to sleep or they would at least be quiet. And so I would just talk to the Lord during my walks and pray and just receive whatever He wanted to impart on me for that day. And so I had to be okay with it looking different. And at first it was really hard because it was like I'm failing, right? Like I'm not spending the time, I'm not reading my Bible like I used to. But then the Lord is just so gracious. Like He showed me, like, it's okay that it looks different in this season. And I know your heart and I know you're still seeking me. It just looks different. And there will be a time when you can go back to your mornings, and having that quiet time, which is a little bit more how it is now, where I have that time in the morning of silence before my kids wake up because I'm sleeping through the night. But it's so important to remember, like, He will meet you in every single moment. Like, it's okay that it looks different, and He knows your heart, and He will meet you in the 1 minute that you spend with Him, the 2 seconds, the Bible verse that you just speak out, like for the day. Like He will meet you in every single moment. And I think we forget that as moms because especially for me, because I'm like type A, like everything has a schedule, it needs to look a certain way. And so to just relinquish that control, and literally just yield to him in the season that he's put you in really helped me with breathing and allowing him to really minister to me in a season of just change. That was a hard shift, but once I was like, I'm just surrendering this to you because I don't know what else to do and I feel like I'm failing. That's when I was able to hear him and hear him say, I will meet you and I'm here in every single moment. Like it's okay that it looks different. That shifted a lot for me. That shifted a lot of just being able to let go of control and allowing him to speak and minister to me in any time of the day rather than it just being the morning and it needs to be this hour and I'm reading my Bible and this verse. And, it just opened up for him to just be in every single moment, every single thought, like everything. It just opened it up to, yeah, he is in every part of my day. Like it's okay. He knows my heart and he knows I'm still seeking him regardless of what this season looks like of my quiet time.
It sounds like God kind of shook you up in motherhood and gave
To
you a
say
sense
the
of
least.
spiritual whimsy. Oh
Yeah,
gosh.
yes, absolutely, without question.
I'm a type A too, so that adjustment from being, like you said, owning your time to, yeah, babies do not understand that. They're like, I'm hungry now.
Exactly.
I have
It's
gas. You
their
need to help me
world,
burp.
right? It's their world. We're just living in it.
Exactly. Yes, they have no trouble demanding our time when they're not in the schedule. So that is awesome that God was able to speak to your heart and help you with that transition, because that transition from owning your time to being at the beck and call of your child, it can be really, really rough for a lot of moms. I've heard that multiple times. And even 2, 3, even 10 years later, they still haven't
Mhm.
recovered. So that is incredible that you've been able to adjust and that you've allowed God to speak into your heart and make those changes to your lifestyle, really, while you are in this season of keeping two people alive.
Yeah, and it's still not perfect. Recently, like the Lord has just really been on my telling me to go to bed earlier. And I'm like, oh no, the kids are asleep. Like this is my time. I want to stay up and I want to work on my business or I want to read or I just want to watch TV. Like I just want to do my own thing. And he's just been adamant that I go to bed earlier and wake up earlier. So it's not perfect whatsoever, but it is better. And I think, like you said, like relinquishing that control is really hard for especially us type A women. Every time he like pulls something back or removes something, he replaces it with something better. And so just trusting him and having that faith that, okay, this is going to look different, but he's going to make it so much better than I could have even imagined has really been helpful for me too.
It's a journey. There's so much change, which I don't know about all type A's, but this type A does not like change. So but that is motherhood. Motherhood is constant change and navigating that. But God is faithful to bring those little shifts that He wants us to have. We might not always understand them in the moment, but He's been faithful to reveal those of the why with a little bit of patience on my part.
Yes. Yeah, a lot on my part.
In your journey, you touched on the spiritual healing. What about your journey on becoming confident in your skin? Because that is, I mean, the body is never the same after childbirth. Like I used to think stretch marks, it was like, white out, it just magically disappears. Boy, that is not the case. I mean, boob shape, it all changes.
For real, everything has been shifted. Your organs have literally been moved. Like everything is just different. And I think for me, when it comes to confidence, this is still a daily thing for me, is understanding that, first of all, being grateful for what my body has done really helps me shift from the physical aspect of the stretch marks, things not looking the same, things drooping that didn't droop before. You know what I mean? And so, gratitude really helps me shift from this place of, oh my gosh, like it's never going to look the same. It's never going to be the same. I'm never going to be as strong. And I found in my work that motherhood propels you into being stronger. So even if it doesn't physically look the same, like you are so much stronger than you were before you were a mom. Like if you think about pregnancy, giving birth, and even like the postpartum period, like your body is incredible. Like God designed it incredibly well with wisdom and with order. And so when we're able to shift from, oh my gosh, it doesn't look the same, but being grateful for what it's done and the beautiful babies that have come from this body, that really helped me start shifting my focus. And that's kind of when things started to just fall into place. Like, yeah, my body definitely doesn't look the same as it did before having kids, but I'm so much stronger than I was before I had kids, even like lifting weights and those sort of things. things. And like I competed in fitness competitions before I had kids. Being a mom projects you into this next level, like this other realm. Like I feel like the Lord is literally calling you to rise because you have to in order to be a mom. When I look at it from that perspective, then it becomes more of like an honor to be in this body, to take care of this beautiful vessel that He's blessed me with. And so that really helps me shift my focus of, I don't love how it looks all the time, but I'm just so grateful for it. And to know that the Holy Spirit dwells within, that like instantly humbles me every single time. It's just like the Lord, He cares about your physical body, of course, but like He looks at your heart. And when I think about my kids and what they see, like I have boys, I don't have girls, but even for women who have daughters, like to project that on them, either consciously or subconsciously, like always like worried about your body or, that it's changed or whatever. Like kids are sponges. They soak up everything, even the things you don't want them to soak up, right? So even just remembering what is the example that I want my boys to have when they go to work out or they want to be strong, like what example am I setting for them for what health, what stewarding our body, my mental health, my emotional health, my spiritual health, like what does that look like? And so that helps me shift my view from not being the happiest some days with what my body looks like and being confident and being grateful for this body, for the journey of motherhood, for my kids. And so that's why I have my women that I work with, I have them always start with like a Bible verse, like before they even touch a weight. It's like, let me anchor my heart in the word and what God says about me before I start moving and lifting weights and criticizing myself. Let's start with truth, and then everything else, it's so much easier for it to fall into place. When the Lord tells you who you are, believe Him. Like that's something that I always have to remind myself and my women. We're all created for something special, regardless of whether you love or hate your body in this season. Like you still have such a huge calling on your life. So don't let this hold you back from doing what the Lord has called you to. So just shifting perspective and being grateful has really helped with my confidence. And then also knowing what your purpose is or your kingdom assignment, that like fuels me every single day to get up and go, regardless of how I feel or look in my body. If the Lord has called me to help these women, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to run my race with endurance. And so I feel like when we can kind of shift our perspective from ourselves and onto the people we're serving, our family, our customers, whatever ministry, it's a lot easier to be confident in your body because the Lord has already gone before you and He's blessed you to do whatever He's called you to.
That is so good because I totally agree. Getting that focus off of yourself and being thankful for what your body can do because the strength in motherhood, the super mom thing it's real.
Yes.
Because I mean, you're holding on to 30 pounds with one arm while grocery shopping, and then you've got a 60-pound child on your back, and people are like, "How do you do that?"
Right.
Because you have
Yes.
to. There is no
Yeah.
choice.
Exactly. Exactly. We do what we must.
Yes, in so many ways. You're right. My body is so much stronger now than it was before I had kids. It's just a
Mhm.
little more lumpy in places.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and all of that can change in time. Like if that's really, because I understand wanting to look a certain way because that's me. Like I love being strong. I love being lean. Like I love looking a certain way in my body. There's no, there's nothing wrong with that. I think it's when we start to obsess over that and put that before our relationship with the Lord. That was me. And that's where the issue came, was when it started to become an obsession and like only about the aesthetics. That's when like the wheels fell off the car and everything just kind of hit the fan. Yeah, I never shame women for wanting to look a certain way or wanting to lose weight because I'm here for it. I love it. That's what I do. But let's make sure that we're not putting that before the Lord. Seek the kingdom first, and all of these other things will be unto you. So,
Yeah, spiritual health is so important on a health journey. That helped me a lot.
yeah. Yeah, there's such a parallel between like fitness and just health in general and your walk with the Lord. It's like if you think about the different seasons that we go through as believers, like sometimes we're in the valley, sometimes we're at the mountaintop. Like same thing with your health journey. Like some days you don't want to do it, right? You don't want to do, and you don't want to go to the gym, you don't want to work out, you don't want to go for the walk, you don't want to eat healthy. But we do what we must, right? We do what we are called to do. So there is such a huge parallel between that and also building resilience. Like I feel like as moms, we need a ton of it. We need a ton of resilience and perseverance. And there's really no better way than to do it with your health, your physical health, especially. It's going to build all of that in every other area of your life.
On this journey of health, being a mom and being aesthetically pleasing, which in my opinion you very much are, just saying,
Oh, thank you. You're so sweet. I appreciate you.
how did all of that affect your marriage? Because the body does change dramatically. A childbearing and birth was more childbirth than bearing was a bit of a shock for my husband.
Yeah.
But how did you and your husband navigate that change?
So my husband is a paramedic firefighter, so he has delivered babies, like he's used to seeing all of that stuff. For him, it was just like a beautiful thing to see, like, his children being born. It was just like a wonderful experience. For me, postpartum, I wanted nothing to do with my husband. Like, I didn't want to be intimate. Like, I didn't want him to touch me. Like, it was just really hard. And mostly because I just felt like so much guilt and shame, like on my body. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm not attractive anymore. Like, how could he still love me? Like, I look so different. And to him, he's like, what? Like, he didn't even see what I saw. He was actually more in love with me after bringing his children into the world because he was like, you're so strong. Like, watching you go through pregnancy and giving birth, like, he's like in awe. And most of our husbands are. They're just like, how is this even possible? And then we go into our heads, which we think completely different than our husbands. That's a whole nother topic for another podcast. But he was just so in awe and like just so happy and like joyful and just more attracted to me than ever. Even looking at research, it's like men don't even see what you see. They still see what they saw when they first met you. Like postpartum, like we're so in our heads and our bodies, like, oh, it's different. I have this belly now, I have these rolls or whatever. They don't even care. They don't see any of that. Like they love you the same or even more because they have so much respect for what you went through becoming a mom. And so for me, it was a long journey of being okay with myself in order to be okay with being intimate with my husband. And I gave birth vaginally both times. Even just healing from that postpartum, like, like the tear, like all of that stuff. But my husband was just so gracious. Praise God. And so patient with me. For me, that was really hard, like, especially after my first baby, of just like being so rocked and my body changing so much. And I think we forget that our husbands, like, they're just as lost as we are, like, as being a mom, like, they're even more lost because they have no clue what they're doing at all. And they're trying to help, but then it's just like we neglect them because we're like, the baby is everything right now. Like, get out of the way, basically, sometimes. And so they're trying to navigate as much as we are. They're trying to figure out their role as much as we are. Like, they can't breastfeed, but they're trying to help, like, and so it was just a lot of learning. But I feel like those postpartum periods brought us closer together because we had to, like, we had to become a solidified team even more, trying to raise a baby and just watching him be so gracious with me and then also wanting to help with our babies as much as he would get up when I got up. Like, what can I do? It's just, it built our relationship even stronger, even though it started off really shaky, mainly because of me. It built us into what I feel like now, where we have almost a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old, to where our marriage is the strongest it's ever been. And it's because we've gone through these different seasons and it's only made our relationship stronger, having different variables, bringing kids into the mix and all of those sorts of things. It's strengthened our marriage. And I'm so grateful for that because I know that's not the case for everybody.
No, unfortunately, it's not. But if you actually make yourself work through the challenges like you guys did and communicate through them rather than just staying stuck where you are, you're right. It makes the marriage so much stronger because you've got those two people who have come together as one, and then you add God to it, and that third chord, it's unbreakable. But it's making sure you don't drift apart. And that is, in my opinion, the hardest thing once kids come in, is the not drifting apart and making
Yeah.
sure you keep coming together, whether that is in a physical sense with intimacy or conversation, or just making sure that you look your husband in the eye and say, "Hi, honey, I see you today."
Right. Yeah. And just being super intentional on spending time together without the kids. Like, if you have help or someone who can watch the kids for an hour or whatever, like, we're very intentional about like date nights and like spending time together. Like it's a non-negotiable for us. And also my husband knows like my love language is quality of time. And so when we don't have that, I'm just like, he can feel it. Like he's just like, okay, well, what is going on? Like we need to spend time together. And so just being truly intentional. And even if you don't have help, like, okay, when the kids go to bed, we're going to spend time together. We're going to sit and talk. We're not going to turn the TV on and just watch a movie or whatever. Like, let's have some real conversations.
Just so important. When you sense that gap starting to widen of, okay, or have we been speaking each other's love language and making sure you come together? That is so, so good. I did want to say kudos to your husband for getting up with you with the babies. That is huge. My husband is like a zombie at night. He cannot wake up. So he's like, "Thank you for taking care of them because I literally can't."
Yeah, my husband's a firefighter, paramedic, so
Oh,
he's used to waking up every few hours for
yeah.
calls, like, and he works in LA. It's a wild city, so yeah, there's never a night when he's at work where he gets to sleep through the night. So he was used to, unfortunately, already waking up. So
It's like, it's an alarm. It's an alarm. Oh, it's a kid.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's like, I'd rather wake up to this than, going to save someone who's having a heart attack at like 2 in the morning. So yeah.
Yeah. Oh. So on this journey that you've been on with being a wife, a mom, a Broadway performer, a fitness competitor, and now you're a fitness coach. And how did that journey of coming to peace with how not just you look different, but also life as a type A, how did that work for you?
So at first it was really hard because I'm just like, no, the house needs to look clean, like everything needs to look in place, everything. And then I feel like it has just been really helpful for me to work life in a different way. Like I feel like I was stuck in this, everything has to look a certain way. Even my walk with the Lord, it had to look a certain way. It had to be this in the morning. And the Lord has just shown me like just so much, there can be so much flexibility in our walk with the Lord as far as like the time we spend, how much, we're reading our Bible when we're in motherhood. Like there's so much grace. And so I feel like that grace that He's imparted on me, I'm able now to even show that even more to like my kids, my husband, and just not everything has to look a certain way or how I think it should look. And just being open to different things. Like, for instance, before I had kids, I would be like, okay, everything is in its place, everything is clean. Like, there's no toys all over the floor, you know what I mean? And now I'm just like, this is just life and it's beautiful. Like, I'm just so thankful for my kids and like this crazy life that we have. But then also, the Lord has just shown me so much flexibility and grace in like my relationship with Him. So then it's easier to now impart that even on like the women that I work with, I'm able to see them in such a different light because I have already walked the journey that they are currently in. Most of them are like feeling stuck. They're feeling like, they're doing everything right and not seeing results and that sort of thing. And so there's just such this beautiful compassion and empathy that comes from being open to the Lord showing you different ways that things can work and flow, especially in motherhood, without losing your sanity. So I feel like it's helped me be a better woman overall, but even more so a wife, a mom, a coach, just in every area of my life, just extending that grace that I'm so thankful He's given me into every other part of my life and my family.
Yeah, motherhood has helped me extend grace to others in ways I didn't know I needed to. Like,
Yeah.
oh, that's why they are like that. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, and you're able to see like we're all made in His image. Like you're able to like really connect with that part of people. If I'm honest, before I was a mom, I feel like I was such a selfish person. That's one thing the Lord really revealed to me too, was like I was so self-focused, so self-centered before becoming a mom. And like becoming a mom, like you have no choice but to not be that. Like it's not about you anymore. It's about your kids, your family. That's your ministry. That's your first ministry, taking care of your home. And so sometimes we do have to sacrifice for our family and for our husbands and for, things that we're working on that we feel like the Lord has called us to. But if you're focused on just yourself and how you feel, then there's no way you can even hear what the Lord is asking you to do in this season of changing your routine, whatever that looks like, starting that business, whatever that looks like for you, starting that ministry, being nicer to your husband. Like, there's just so much that is blocked by being focused on yourself. Like, I was just such a selfish person that I couldn't even receive what the Lord was trying to show me, that I now He's shown me like what is to come, and like, desires of my heart for other women. There's like a literal block there if we stay stuck in ourselves. Like, we're here to serve. We all have a purpose in serving in some way. And so motherhood has really helped unlock the chains of being so selfish and self-centered. And not that that's a bad thing. Like, there's a season when that is great. Like, when you have goals and you pushing and moving and climbing the ladder, corporate ladder, whatever you're doing, your ministry. But motherhood is a different season, and there is literally no room for that. And so for me, it made me better because now I can turn my self focus onto others, my kids, my husband, my clients. And so it's really just helped me stretch and grow into the woman that I am today, which in my husband's language, I am the best version of myself that he has seen. And we've been together for over 13 years. So
I have a feeling he got a few brownie points on that one.
yeah, he did. He did. Yeah, just like you're seeing the light of God. That's what you're seeing, because this was not who I was even 4 years ago. Like, it's just allowing him to transform you from the inside out is the only way for true transformation.
I love that your husband is getting to not just witness that, but also tell you that he has witnessed that, how much he admires it. That is so cool.
Yeah, it's a beautiful gift.
Yes. What would you tell a struggling mom who hasn't been on your journey? She hasn't found a way to be confident in her skin, to regain her self esteem, assuming that she even had it. And some moms, they really have struggled with self esteem before they became pregnant, and then you become
Mhm.
pregnant.
Yeah,
And you go, oh, what was I complaining about?
that part.
If there was one thing that you could tell that mom, what would it be?
I would honestly tell her to literally ask the Lord to reveal to her who she truly is. Like, who she truly is outside of the titles of wearing the different hats, of being a mom, of being a wife, of running a business, a ministry, whatever she's doing. It's to literally just sit with the Lord and ask Him, because we know if we ask, He will give you an answer. And so I would say, first and foremost, just sit and ask. But then when He tells you, believe Him. Whatever he says, whatever comes to your heart, like, believe him, because we know that he is a God that cannot lie. And also just start reading a verse a day. Like, if you're in that season and you're in the trenches, like, sis, I get it. Even just reading one verse a day can dramatically change the trajectory of your day. And the last thing I'll say is, when you wake up in the morning, if the first question, the first thing that comes to your mind, first thing out of your mouth is, Lord, what do you want me to receive today? It will transform your entire day. If you just get a word from him, maybe a verse, whatever he gives you for that day, just hang on to it and come back to it every time those thoughts come of the comparison of, my body doesn't look how it used to, or I don't look like this person. This person just had a baby a month ago and look at her now. It's like we fall into this trap of comparison, and that is the thief of joy. It's just like the Lord has you in a season for a reason, and just be intentional on figuring out what that is and allowing Him to reveal who you truly are. Because no one in this world can tell you who you truly are. You have to go to the one who created you. He's the one who knows everything. He knows the truth about you. He knows your whole entire life, and He loves you more than anyone in this world. So why not go to the source first and just truly ask Him and spend either silence with Him, or even when your kids are awake. Like, there's nothing wrong with just sitting there and talking to the Lord and praying. Like, I do that in front of my kids all the time. But I think just seeking the source first and foremost, and that's okay if it looks like a minute, 30 seconds, one word, whatever you need it to look like in that season, but go to Him first and foremost.
That is so good. Thank you, Ashley.
Of course.
So I think we are going to need to wrap up. I could keep talking to you for hours. I love the
Oh, you're so
wisdom,
sweet.
the spirit God has given you. I really enjoy talking with you. So,
No, same. Thank you.
if my mamas have enjoyed listening to you in this conversation, where can they find more of you and possibly connect with you?
Yeah, so they can find me on Instagram, Ashley Perry Lambert, also on TikTok, and then also on my podcast, Fat Loss Momentum. And, I just want to encourage them that it's okay that this season looks different. It's okay if you feel like you have no idea what you're doing. We've all been there, and the Lord will still meet you in those moments. Like, call on Him. He is your strength, and He will get you through what feels like a hard season. But there is hope and there is light at the end of the tunnel. Enjoy the moments because your babies they grow so fast. And so don't rush through this season. The Lord has so much for you where you currently are.
Amen for that one. Thank you so much. I really
Of
enjoyed this.
course.
If you're needing to see any of those links and places where Ashley is, I will have those in the show notes for you. And I believe Ashley has even made something a little special for listeners. Ashley, do you want to tell them where they can find that?
Yeah, so they can go to ashleyperrylambert.com/time for mom, and or they can just DM me the word time for mom on Instagram and I will send them the link. It'll be a resource to help them with self-image and confidence and doing it God's way in a season of what feels like is never going to end. So it's just going to encourage their hearts and be really helpful for them to just reference in this season.
All right. Well, until next week, mamas, may this conversation just light your heart up and feed your soul. And please do reach out to Ashley if anything that she said resonated with you. I just ask that you would reach out, encourage her, maybe even listen to her podcast, Fat Loss Momentum. It is really good. I have listened to it myself. So until next week, bye. Hey, beautiful. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If so, would you take 30 seconds to share this with a mom who is wading through those mounds of laundry and dishes and wishing for just a little me time? Also, please leave a quick review for the show on Apple Podcasts. It makes my day to know this podcast has helped you. Well, it's time for me to wash more dishes and cook more food. I'll meet you next Wednesday for another episode. Until then, may the God of grace fill you with his peace.